Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are returning, welcome back. If you are new, then welcome. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Pan Pastel 20 Pure Color set. I mentioned in my haul video that I already had 3 other sets and that you can get different types of sets. These are the metallics, the skin tones, and the gray tones. I do have some cards that I had swatched out before when I got them. They are stackable. You can go ahead and twist them together. They did come with palettes to where you can lay them all out and actually hold it like a palette. I did receive them when I bought these sets. I didn't realize that's what they were at the time, and I went ahead and threw them away. I thought it was just the plastic container that they came in. Didn't realize, didn't know any better, so don't make the same mistake I did. I'll go ahead and show you some of these here. The metallics, while they do have a nice little shimmery sheen to them, I really don't suggest using them and then putting something over the top and trying to layer with them. It just does not work very well. I have tried putting different types of pencils, even pastel pencils, over the top. Nothing seems to want to go on. You really have to fight it. It's more of a, let's give a sheen and kind of an effect on top of whatever you're working, or just in an area that you don't plan on mixing with any other kind of medium. They do mix okay with the regular pastels, just to give a slight subtle sparkle to whatever you're working on. But other than that, I mean, they are really pretty. I'll go ahead and open these so you can see. And they do have a slight sparkle, and they have been used, so they might be kind of, weird on the top. They do, it is kind of like using, it's almost like makeup, like eyeshadow or a powdery foundation. Sometimes, like, it gets bumpy because of oils and stuff, but usually, just kind of cleaning the top of it helps out. This is the silver, and we'll go through each one here really quick. This one is a darker shade, and it's the pewter. I don't know if you can see the difference of the color on the paper there. They do not twist very easy together. Sometimes you have to readjust them. This is the light gold. And then we have the rich gold. And the bronze, followed by the copper. On the paper, the copper, sometimes it feels more of like a red color than a copper. I mean, if you look closely, you can see, got some powder on there. I mean, it does look coppery there, but it depends on, I guess, what you're using it for. To me, it has kind of a reddish tone. That could be the lighting as well. I'm not putting them back in order the right way. So that is the metallic set I got. Do have the skin tones as well. And that's pretty much the same thing. The non-metallic ones are more fine powder and chalky. And then the metallics, I don't know if they use a different binder or if it's whatever they're using, the mica, I guess, for the metallic sheen. It changes the texture slightly. This one is the burnt sienna. We have the yellow ochre, the red iron oxide tint, the burnt sienna, the burnt sienna shade, the burnt sienna extra dark, and this is just a colorless blender. They do have regular shades or regular hues. You can get the same color in, just like if it was the burnt sienna tint. They have a burnt sienna hue. They have the shade. They have the extra dark. And a lot of the colors all have variations like that. So you can, like I said, you can buy them individually, and you would be able to get the different shades if you want. You can also buy the different sets. They do have a set that's just extra dark, one that's just the shades, and so forth. So you can go ahead and just get something like that. These are the gray tones, and it's just basic white, or well, titanium white. On this paper, it's not tinted paper, so it doesn't really show straight down, but if you get it at an angle, I mean, you can see the white on it. It looks great on tinted paper. It'll really show up well. This is the neutral gray tint. As you can see, it's powdery from the last time I used it. So is this one. Neutral gray shade, neutral gray extra dark, and I don't know why that I wrote neutral gray extra dark on two. Okay, the first one was neutral gray extra dark, and this one also said neutral gray extra dark. They do have different color numbers on there. We have 820.1 and 820.2. So I think it's just a slight difference. It doesn't really look that much difference. I probably would have done extra or neutral gray dark and then extra dark, but I guess that's just me. And then the last one is black. If you layer this black on your paper, you can get a really dark shade to it. It can be layered pretty dark. It could also be quite overpowering if it mixes over into another color close to it. So you gotta kind of be careful with that black, as you would with anything else. As we all know, black is a very dark shade, and it's not hard to muddy up or mess something up if you're not careful with it. And they are messy. You do have to either blow away your dust or knock it away or something, but the dust gets everywhere when you're working with it. Okay, on to the actual set that I bought. Again, it's a 20 color set of the Pure Colors. It does come with free tools. They say free, but you're probably paying for it in the cost because it is not cheap. This is one of the cheapest sets I can find, and I paid $100 for this set of 20. It is highly pigmented and light fast. It says low dust, but it's a pastel. It's a chalky pastel. It's going to have dust. As you can see when I was showing the other colors. This back shows the information about the pastels. It'll tell you the colors, what kind of sponges and tools that were included in. All right, let's go ahead and dig in, and this is actually on there pretty well. Slide this off. Oh, it does have a free tutorial video if you go to their website. Okay. They seem to package it pretty snugly, so you don't have to worry about them shifting around too much. Okay, so inside we have our tools, basically, and they're just the handles, and you can attach the little pieces on the end, well, the applicator sponges, and use those. It comes with a large oval sponge that's fairly flat. I mean, it's got a slight curve to the edge, so that's nice. That's my first one that size. It also comes with a little pamphlet that talks about, well, it shows the different colors, their ratings, shows you where you can get your free demonstration video and such. It is erasable. I have been able to lift them off paper. Sometimes it'll still leave a little bit of a hue to the paper, but you know, that seems to be par for the course. And it does come in 4 of these stacks. They have 5 colors in each, and there is a section underneath that has different tools or applicator tips inside that you can use. So we'll go ahead and look at the different colors, and then I'll go ahead and get them swatched out. As far as the tools, these I've used quite a bit. I don't even know what they're really called, but they kind of remind me of a finger. I love the curved edge. It's a slight curve, so if you're just trying to get around something and get a nice curve to something, this will work great. If you're not going for small detail, if you're going for small detail, you're going to want the applicator sticks. It's basically just like an eyeshadow applicator, and honestly, you can buy a pack of eyeshadow applicators as well and use those. I have done that. You can get large packs of different sizes in different art supply stores. My last pack I bought was from Hobby Lobby, and it probably had like a dozen different sizes of them. When you're working with the pastels on the pastel paper, it's usually textured, so you kind of go through your sponges quickly. This looks like it was just 2 thinner ones kind of like glued together, and it's coming apart. I don't know if it's supposed to be doing that and it's just, you know, they didn't cut it right, or if it's just a regular, you know, wedge and it's supposed to be left like that. So that's kind of interesting. Let me get these all back in here. They don't want to go back in. They're like, we've been in there long enough. We want to be used, and you shall within time. Okay, then we've got these, let's see, these kind of oval tipped ones, and there's like these square tipped ones for different uses. You know, kind of play with them and see how you prefer to use them. These just slide on the tips of these, and then you just go ahead and you use them. I do have some other ones from the other sets that came like this, and they have more of a point to them for smaller detail areas. So I'm glad I got a couple different other shapes and sizes, so I thought that's pretty nice. And they are numbered, so this is 1 for the oval, this is the number 2 for the rectangular, and the pointy one is a number 3. I just now noticed that. I actually have one on the tool already, so it just kind of slides on there like a little sock, and you kind of just rub on it, wipe it down, and paint with it. Once you're done, you can wipe it off on a cloth to kind of clean it, to move to another color so you're not transferring it. Otherwise, I would kind of say most generally, unless you're doing just like tiny little amounts at a time, these, and you're doing an actual piece to where you're using it for multiple colors or just a lot of one color, you're probably gonna just use this one time. take it off and throw it away, because these sponges do tear and like little pieces will flake off, you know, once you've used them quite a bit. So nothing heavy duty about these at all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch this over. We'll do a speed swatch, and then you can see the different colors, and we'll go over that. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back again. As you can see, I've got everything swatched out. I didn't want to use up the sponges just for swatching, so I went ahead and used my little travel set of Q-tips. They do work in a pinch. If you don't have your tools and you need some for just laying down some color really quick. As you can see, it was quite messy, very powdery. The tools actually hold on to the powder a bit more. They're not that messy. The Q-tips aren't as, they don't hold on to the powder as well. But you can see the colors. I don't know if you can make out my chicken scratch or not, but we have titanium white. Its color number is 100.5. They're all 0.5s, but Hansa yellow is a 220.5. I don't know if I'm saying that. Diary Light yellow is a 250.5. Yellow ochre is 270.5. Orange 280.5. Permanent red 340.5. Red iron oxide is a 380.5. Magenta is a 430.5. Violet is a 470.5. Ultramarine is 520.5. Phthalo blue is 560.5. Turquoise at 580.5. Phthalo green at 620.5. Permanent green at 640.5. Chromium oxide green is 660.5. Bright yellow green 680.5. Burnt sienna 740.5. Raw umber 780.5. Black at 800.5 and neutral gray at 820.5. Those are just the color numbers. If you need to find just like an individual one, you can use that number and find the color that you're looking for that way. This was just a cheap pastel paper that I had that had a slight tint to it. It's like an off-white. I was hoping that the white would at least show more on the page. It doesn't really, unless you really turn it a direction to the side or at a different angle, then you can see it. I know that it does work on darker shades of paper where you can see it really well. They are mixable, so you can get other variations of colors. I don't prefer to do that, not from pan to pan at least, because I don't want to contaminate the color with another color, and I like my pans to stay clean. So I do know that you can mix them, though. That is an option to get the colors that you're looking for. As far as doing a piece, that'll might be something that I do later on, to where I do just a pan pastel set. Otherwise, typically I use the pan pastels to work on a background around my pencil drawings. So I'm hoping with the colors that I can do more of like a foliage type thing. Just to give it a pop of color, since most of what I've been using it for has been the gray tones or even the metallics. I have used a couple of the skin tones for a background on a drawing. So it varies, but mostly I tend to lean towards the gray tones. So, I mean, all in all, I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's quite messy. I don't know how well it's rated for, you know, breathing it in. That's probably not the greatest thing. So if you are irritated by dust and powder, I would suggest wearing like a filter mask or something when you're working with it, just so you're not inhaling any or sneezing or coughing because of it. But other than that, I mean, they have great pigments. It works great. You know, not all papers. It's not going to look like that on everything. It's just the texture of this specific paper showing through. And like I said, it's just a cheap brand. Nothing special. Just something to swatch it on. So I think I'm going to leave that here. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.